Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Lecturer in Science English course, Mr. Arif Bidan Moko, SPD, MPD PhD, and Mrs. Stephanie Tia Sari, SSM Hum. My name is Adilla Maulana Rifqi from Universitas Negeri Semarang. In this time, I will present science seminar articles. The title is The Use of Embossed Thermometer for Science Practicum Learning Activities Temperature Measurement for Blind Students. Okay, and then introduction. The education is the basic right of every human being, which is the nature of a human being that to learn and gain knowledge for the needs of himself and other people. This education is the key in achieving the goals desired by every human being. This education is carried out through learning activities in various existing subjects. Julia 2017. The one of the lesson in the education is natural science. The natural science is a very important subject to be taught to the students as early as possible, because the importance of applying science knowledge from the science learning, which in everyday life can be utilized by humans, from Dharma and Rushdie 2015. And then the inclusive education is a type of educational method where students with special needs or disabilities can study education in a regular school with their friends, with regular students too. In inclusive education, students with disabilities will receive education with the same lesson and the same curriculum, absolutely, as the regular students, given Gamal and Matos 2017. And then one of the disabilities is the blind, that this indicates students who have physical disabilities often experience many obstacles in the activity of practicum due to their disabilities. In the blind students that have a problem with visually think, students will find it very difficult to distinguish objects from one another, especially to they are new to the new objects, such as some materials in laboratory, from Inaha and Stenixis 2018. And then from the case, we will give a new method with the embossed thermometer. That so in the disability practicum learning in the inclusive class, the majority of the blind students with special needs have difficulty to read the scale measured on the in the regular thermometer used. So they need stimulus for the sense other than sight to know the measured value of the temperature from Islam and model 2014. Now, then therefore, in this case, indicator will be applied in the form of bulge or hollows from the embossed thermometer that can be distinguished by the blind student at the junior high school level only through this thermometer. And this picture, the regular thermometer is in the left side, and the right side is embossed thermometer. It's a combination of them. And then And the mechanism of the embossed thermometer is same as usual thermometer, namely by increasing the volume of the liquid, that the liquid is mercury in the glass, in tube glass inside the thermometer. Now, and then an indicator that can change according the increase in volume is use a thick latex. The thick latex is used on the side on thermometer. And then if uh, no one increasing of the mercury, the latex shrinks when it's empty. And when the liquid get into the bulk latex, uh, for example, when it's measured 10 degree Celsius, uh, the latex will be thickened, and when it's empty, will be thin according of the content of volume of the liquid that fills it. And then the advantage of the embossed thermometer and absolutely bulge of the latex that can expand and shrink, making it easier for blind students to identify the measured value, because they have a problem with their visually. Nah, so they can touch and sense uh, how many bullets that um, expand in thermometer. For example, there are four bullets. They will know that the measured temperature is 43 Celsius. But the weakness of the uh, embossed thermometer is the latex temperature put is still in the scale between 10 degree 0 until 100 degrees, so that it can only be used for simple temperature measure. Uh, in the junior high school students, it's only for junior high school students that they use it for the experiments that very simple. It's very it's and it easier than the experiments about the temperature measure in the senior high school, especially in the part of temperature measurement. And then the conclusion of this embossed thermometer is the embossed thermometer can be used by blind students, and because of their limitation of the visual thing, they can sense it. But the thermometer appeared only for inclusive science learning at the junior high school level. Because the and then the last is the embossed thermometer is used to measure temperature by touch and feeling the bulge on the thermometer. It's expand or it's shrink. It according to the temperature that measured, and then the blind students can um, now how many the bridge and how many the temperature that measured. And this is your references from these seminars, and I said thank you very much for the attention. I'm sorry for all of my mistakes. It's enough. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.